Fantasy games have the power to transport us to extraordinary worlds, filled with challenges and unforgettable stories. Among the countless games available, some stand out by creating a unique journey, full of epic moments and thrilling combat. In this list, you'll discover the best fantasy games that go beyond, offering adventures that grip you from start to finish, and leave you wanting to stay immersed in their worlds, even after the main story ends. This is Jack speaking. If you're new here, welcome to the Play Hunters channel. I bring you daily content, so you won't miss any details from the gaming universe. And if you could subscribe to help me grow, I'd be really happy. From one gamer to another. Kicking off the list, we have Final Fantasy XV, one of the most iconic games in the series. This game introduced innovative gameplay to the gaming world, blending open-world exploration with real-time battles. The storyline is captivating, with emotional moments that grab your attention, and the ability to drive down vast roads while enjoying stunning landscapes enhances the immersion. The combat system is highly fluid, allowing for dynamic combos that require strategy. It's impossible not to be moved by the captivating atmosphere the game provides. In addition to the main quests, there's a variety of side activities to take on while exploring the map. Hunting epic creatures, gathering resources to upgrade equipment, and interacting with NPCs that enrich the game's universe are just a few examples. Players will feel like there's always something to do, even outside the main narrative, offering countless hours of gameplay without losing momentum. The day-night cycle, with dynamic weather changes, also brings an impressive touch of realism. The freedom to explore, combined with an engaging narrative, makes each session unique. The fast-paced combat and the need to coordinate attacks and abilities precisely keeps players on their toes. This, along with the interactions between characters throughout the journey, creates an immersive, almost cinematic experience. Overall, the dynamic gameplay and vast map to explore make this one of the best fantasy games released in recent times. In second place, we have The Witcher 3, one of the most acclaimed games in the fantasy genre. This game stands out for the richness of detail in its open world and the depth of its narrative. Every choice the player makes directly influences future events, adding a fascinating level of unpredictability. The combat is intense and strategic, requiring the intelligent use of magic and special abilities to defeat powerful enemies. The realism in interactions with the environment is breathtaking. As players explore, they encounter side quests that rival the main storyline in quality. Monster hunts, investigations, and moral decisions make up a large part of the activities, always challenging the player to think carefully before acting. This variety, along with the alchemy and crafting systems, ensures that every battle or quest brings something new and interesting. The vastness of the map, which includes cities, forests, and immersive villages, makes you feel truly immersed in another world. If there's something that makes this game stand out, it's the way the plot hooks the player. The twists, political intrigue, and complex relationships between characters add an extra layer of depth to the story. Combined with the freedom to explore every corner of the map, the game remains vibrant and full of surprises. It's easy to see why it's considered one of the best games of all time, especially for fantasy fans. Next up is Diablo 3, which brought a new dimension to fantasy and action games with its fast-paced rhythm and intense combat. The progression system is one of the game's big draws, encouraging players to constantly improve their characters and gear. The gameplay is simple but extremely addictive, with hordes of enemies providing a good challenge. The dark atmosphere and detailed graphics heighten immersion, creating a sense of urgency and danger with every mission. The game also shines in its variety of playable classes, each with unique abilities that completely change the gameplay style. From long-range attacks to powerful spells, the strategic options are nearly endless. The quest for legendary items and the crafting of rare equipment keep players engaged throughout the campaign and beyond, with additional game modes offering continuous challenges. All of this makes players want to keep returning for more battles. The cooperative mode is one of the game's strongest features, allowing friends to team up to face the most powerful threats. This not only makes the battles more fun, but also brings a level of cooperation that many other games lack. Joint progression and loot sharing ensure an engaging dynamic for those who prefer playing in teams. Without a doubt, this is a must-play for any fantasy game fan. In fourth place, we have Zelda, Breath of the Wild, a landmark in fantasy games that redefine the genre with its open world and total freedom of exploration. The sense of discovery is constant, with a vast map full of mysteries to uncover. The gameplay is innovative, allowing players to solve challenges and puzzles in a variety of ways, which adds a special dynamism to the game. The captivating visual style complements the adventurous and immersive atmosphere. The survival system is also a standout feature, where players must hunt, cook, and deal with different weather conditions to progress. This, combined with fluid combat and weapons that can wear out, adds a level of planning that keeps players attentive to every detail. The ability to climb any surface and the game's interactive physics create unique moments where every decision can lead to different outcomes, making the game feel constantly alive and unpredictable. The narrative is rich and offers a plot full of twists as players explore ancient temples and face colossal creatures. Every corner of the map holds surprises, encouraging exploration without rushing. This is one of the greatest games of all time, with a level of freedom that inspires players to create their own path. This places it among the favorites when it comes to fantasy and adventure games. Next on the list is Middle-earth, Shadow of Mordor, an action fantasy game that transports players into the dark universe of the Lord of the Rings. The combat system is fast and brutal, with fluid combos reminiscent of the best action games of today. What sets it apart is the innovative Nemesis system, where enemies you face remember previous encounters and evolve, making each battle more challenging. This creates a unique dynamic in the world of fantasy games. In addition to direct combat, the game encourages players to use stealth tactics to eliminate enemies, adding a strategic layer to the gameplay. The vast map of Mordor is filled with side quests and events that enrich the story, allowing players to explore ancient ruins and conquer enemy fortresses. Each mission offers a new way to use combat and exploration skills, keeping progress consistently interesting. The sense of impact is constant, as every victory or defeat has direct consequences on the surrounding world. This ensures that the player feels like an active participant in the events of Mordor, with visible changes in the enemy's power structure. This intelligent and engaging game mechanic makes Shadow of Mordor one of the most memorable fantasy games. Each session brings new surprises, keeping the game vibrant. In sixth place, Elden Ring emerges as a true masterpiece. With a vast, interconnected world, the game brings a constant sense of discovery, where every area reveals secrets and unpredictable challenges. The combat system is brutal and rewards patience and precision, challenging players to master their skills. The atmosphere, with mysterious settings and imposing creatures, keeps the player on edge about what's coming next. Exploration is a strong point, allowing players complete freedom to choose their path. The open map, full of powerful enemies and hidden locations, offers opportunities to develop different strategies and tactics. The ability to customize combat styles by combining weapons and abilities ensures that each journey is unique. The constant level of challenge makes every victory rewarding. Another highlight is the carefully crafted world, where the narrative is told subtly but powerfully. Each encounter with an enemy or discovery of an item can change the player's perception of what is happening. This, combined with the immersive environmental design, makes the game stand out as one of the best fantasy productions of recent times. Those seeking deeply engaging games will be immediately drawn into this adventure. In seventh place, Divinity. Original Sin 2 stands out for the level of freedom it offers players. The turn-based combat system is highly strategic, allowing for creative combinations of skills and magic to face increasingly challenging enemies. The story is deeply engaging, with every decision directly impacting the course of events. This flexibility of choices makes the narrative rich and multifaceted, providing a unique journey with each new playthrough. During the adventure, players have the chance to interact with a world that reacts to every action taken. Dialogues, battles, and alliances can be shaped by the choices made throughout the campaign. The variety of side quests and the detailed character customization ensure that there is always something new to explore. The co-op mechanic for up to 4 players adds an interesting layer to the game, allowing friends to join in the journey and face challenges together. The world is immersive and detailed, with settings full of secrets and complex characters. Every location offers a new surprise, encouraging constant exploration. The progression system, with various skills and classes to choose from, ensures the gameplay remains fresh and challenging. In the end, this combination of interactive storytelling and strategic combat makes the game one of the best fantasy games ever released. Next, we have Dragon Age Inquisition, one of the most iconic fantasy games of the last decade. This game offers a vast world filled with secrets, where players can explore different regions and engage in strategic and challenging battles. The combat system, which mixes real-time action with tactical moments, allows for detailed strategies and coordination of abilities. The engaging plot puts players at the center of an epic conflict, filled with intrigue and alliances. Players have the freedom to explore and interact with various factions, each with its own agenda, adding interesting depth throughout the journey. The wide range of playable characters allows players to customize tactics, adapting their playstyle as they progress through the campaign. The side quests are equally engaging, offering new opportunities for expansion and conquest in a world filled with dangers and mysteries. Another standout feature is the dynamic world design, which responds to the player's actions. Decisions made throughout the story directly affect the environment and interactions with other characters, adding a level of immersion that's hard to find in other games of the genre. This is a game that stands out among the best fantasy RPGs released in recent years. Continuing the list, we have Outward, a fantasy game that challenges players with its unique approach to survival and exploration. Unlike many games, the focus here isn't on being an invincible hero, but rather an ordinary adventurer who must face the harsh realities of a hostile world. The combat system is demanding, where every encounter needs to be carefully calculated. The need to manage resources like food, water, and worn-out equipment adds an extra layer of challenge and realism. Exploration in Outward is highly open, encouraging players to discover the vast world without direct guidance. The absence of map markers forces players to navigate by observing the terrain and understanding routes. This element enhances the sense of adventure and discovery with every step. Side missions and dynamic events further enrich the gameplay, making every journey unpredictable. Another standout aspect is the cooperative mode, where 2 players can face the world's challenges together. This allows for a more strategic approach, with one player focusing on survival while the other fights enemies or gathers resources. The constant need to be prepared and make careful decisions makes this game a compelling choice for those looking for a challenging and engaging experience in the fantasy genre. 10th on the list is Final Fantasy VII, one of the most iconic classics in fantasy and RPG games. With a narrative that combines drama, action, and adventure, the game has captivated generations of players since its release. The turn-based combat system allows for detailed strategy development, while the cinematic scenes enhance the impact of the story. The combination of an engaging plot with exciting battles places it among the best games ever made. Throughout the journey, players find themselves in a world full of mysteries, where each new area reveals different aspects of the narrative. The ability to customize skills and tactics adds a strategic layer, offering flexibility in the face of challenges. The diversity of events and epic battles keeps the adrenaline high, while the side missions enrich the progression, giving players more options for immersion. With a unique setting and a deep storyline, the game stands out for its immersive atmosphere and the challenges it presents. Moments of tension, mixed with themes of overcoming and hope, create a powerful narrative. This combination of factors continues to influence game development today, cementing this title as one of the great pillars of the fantasy and RPG genres. In 11th place, we have Bloodborne, one of the darkest and most challenging fantasy games of recent years. With a gothic atmosphere and intense gameplay, the game places players in a macabre world filled with terrifying creatures. The combat is fast and punishing, requiring quick reflexes and a good dose of courage. Every battle can be decisive, and the life recovery system, through attacking enemies, encourages a more aggressive stance during confrontations. The game world is mysterious, full of hidden secrets and enemies ready to strike at any moment. Exploration is rewarding, with interconnected areas that challenge players to uncover the complex layout of the map. As players progress, they unlock shortcuts and find new weapons and items that change how they approach challenges. The trial and error cycle is always present, but the learning process along the journey makes every step forward meaningful. The design of the environments and enemies is spectacular, creating an atmosphere of constant tension and surprise. The feeling of standing at the edge of the unknown at every corner contributes to deep immersion, with narrative twists that keep the player's attention. The game is widely recognized as one of the best fantasy games due to its challenging difficulty and its intricately constructed nightmare world. In 12th place, we have Dragon's Dogma, Dark Arisen, one of the fantasy games that masterfully blends action and RPG elements. With dynamic and challenging combat, players face gigantic creatures in epic battles. The class system offers a wide variety of skills, allowing players to personalize their playstyle and adapt to different threats. The freedom to explore a vast, secret-filled world makes every journey exciting. Exploration is one of the game's strongest points, with an open map offering countless opportunities for adventure. The missions are varied and often lead players to face colossal enemies, where each strike and strategy is essential for victory. The day-night cycle directly impacts gameplay, creating unpredictable situations, especially at night when stronger enemies emerge. Another standout element is the pawn system, where AI-controlled companions assist in battles and strategies. They learn from combat and evolve throughout the adventure, adding an interesting dynamic to the game. These factors combined place Dragon's Dogma, Dark Arisen among the best fantasy games, especially for those seeking action-packed combat and a richly detailed setting. In 13th place, we have Ashen, a fantasy game that takes a minimalist and unique approach to the action and RPG genre. With a simple yet striking visual style, the game places players in a dark and devastated world, where survival depends as much on skill as on alliances with other characters. The combat is meticulous and challenging, rewarding patience and precision with every hit. The passive cooperative style, where other players can join your journey, adds an interesting touch to the gameplay. The exploration system encourages players to venture into unknown regions and face formidable enemies while collecting resources to strengthen their character. The design of the environments and the creatures inhabiting the world contribute to an immersive and mysterious atmosphere. Every newly discovered territory offers its own challenges, keeping the sense of progression constant. Another standout aspect is the simplicity with which the narrative is delivered, leaving players to interpret the twists and events as they progress. These elements make Ashen an excellent choice for fans of fantasy games who appreciate a more restrained and atmospheric approach. In 14th place, we have Skyrim, one of the most influential fantasy games of the last decade. With a vast open world to explore, players can follow any path, from epic quests to simple adventures in mysterious caves. The combat system allows for various approaches, whether through weapons, magic, or stealth, giving players the freedom to create their own playstyle. The richness of detail in both the environment and the story makes the journey even more immersive. Freedom of choice is one of the game's strengths, allowing players to decide their own fate in a world full of factions, wars, and mythologies. Character progression is highly customizable, with different skills and powers that can be developed as you advance. The side quests, often surprisingly complex, provide hours of additional content beyond the main storyline. Another highlight is the interaction with the environment, where every city, forest, or mountain offers something new. From battling dragons to helping villagers, the game creates a constant sense of discovery. These elements, along with the endless possibilities the game offers, place Skyrim among the best and most enduring fantasy games. A true milestone in the history of open-world games. In 15th place, we have Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which transports players to the Viking era with impressive historical and cultural detail. The game offers a brutal combat system, where players face enemies with devastating blows and a variety of weapons typical of the time. The open-world exploration mechanic, which includes villages, cities, and natural landscapes, constantly invites players to venture into new lands. The main campaign involves expanding your settlement, adding a layer of strategy as players recruit allies and strengthen their forces. The journey through Anglo-Saxon lands offers a mix of combat, exploration, and diplomacy, where decisions impact the narrative's course. Side missions, treasure hunts, and mysteries scattered across the map ensure there's always something new to discover. The world design, with its recreation of Nordic and British landscapes, is breathtaking. The detailed setting, combined with the immersive soundtrack, makes every battle and conquest feel significant. These elements come together to place Valhalla among the best fantasy games, offering an adventure that goes far beyond battles and conflicts. In 16th place, Hogwarts Legacy is a fantasy game that transports players to the magical world like never before. With the ability to explore the famous school of magic and its surroundings, the game offers an incredible level of immersion. The dynamic combat system using magic allows players to wield different spells and abilities in electrifying duels. The faithful recreation of the universe creates a charming atmosphere, especially for fans of the franchise. Exploration extends beyond Hogwarts corridors to forests, villages, and other iconic locations. As players progress, they develop their magical abilities and face challenges that require intelligence and strategy to overcome. Another highlight is the side quests, hidden secrets, and interactions with other students that enrich the gameplay, ensuring there's always something interesting to do. The game offers an engaging plot filled with mysteries and twists, where players take on a crucial role in the magical world's destiny. The freedom to explore and the variety of activities create a captivating journey full of discoveries. Without a doubt, this is one of the most anticipated fantasy games of recent years and promises to offer a memorable adventure for anyone venturing through its magical halls. In 17th place, we have Dragon's Dogma 2, one of the most recent fantasy games that has captivated fans with its combination of action and strategy. The game expands on the vast world and enhances the dynamic combat that made the first game a success. The class system remains a major highlight, allowing players to deeply customize their skills as they face gigantic creatures in intense, strategic battles. Exploration continues to be a cornerstone, with large areas filled with secrets awaiting adventurers. Side quests offer new challenges, and the variety of enemies, allies, and rare items keeps players constantly moving. Each region brings something unique in terms of challenges or rewards, ensuring the journey remains engaging from start to finish. The pawn system, a fan-favorite mechanic, returns even more robust, providing strategic support in battles and offering new tactical possibilities. The combination of fluid combat, detailed exploration, and an engaging narrative makes this game one of the great additions to the fantasy genre, keeping the series in the spotlight of action RPGs. In 18th place, we have Black Myth, Wukong, a fantasy game that quickly grabbed attention for its impressive visual quality and challenging combat. Inspired by Chinese mythology, the game takes players to a world filled with mystical creatures and stunning landscapes. The combat system blends fast action with the need to master the protagonist's magical abilities and transformations, offering intense battles against formidable enemies. The world design is one of the game's most striking features, with environments ranging from lush forests to ancient temples. Exploration reveals hidden secrets, and players can transform into different creatures to overcome unique challenges. This mechanic adds an extra layer of strategy to the game, encouraging smart use of abilities to defeat powerful bosses and opponents. Another highlight is the fluidity of combat and precision of controls, allowing players to feel fully in control of the character during battles. The detailed animations and visual effects further enhance the immersion, creating truly epic moments. This game, with its innovative approach, is already being considered one of the best fantasy action games, putting it in a standout position within the genre. In 19th place, we have Demon's Souls, a fantasy game that redefined the action and RPG genre with its brutal difficulty and dark atmosphere. Known for its challenging combat, the game demands patience and precision, where every move must be calculated. The progression system is simple, but requires players to master combat and learn from each defeat, making every victory all the more satisfying. The game world is built with a dense atmosphere, full of lurking dangers in every corner. Exploration is rewarding, leading players to discover secrets, shortcuts, and valuable items hidden in meticulously designed environments. The design of enemies and bosses is impressive, featuring gigantic and terrifying creatures that require specific tactics to defeat. Immersion in the world is reinforced by the soundtrack and impressive visuals, which create a constant sense of danger. Every battle won is a relief and an incentive to keep delving into this unforgiving world. Demon's Souls remains a reference when it comes to challenging combat and an immersive dark fantasy setting. Continuing, we have Dark Souls, one of the most influential games of the last decade in the dark fantasy and RPG genre. Known for its relentless difficulty, the game challenges players to face formidable enemies and overcome obstacles that test both skill and patience. The combat system requires mastery of every movement, with battles that punish impatience but reward careful planning. This balance between challenge and reward made the game a landmark in the gaming universe. Exploration in Dark Souls is a journey in itself, where every area is uniquely interconnected, offering new surprises at every turn. Secrets are everywhere, from hidden items to shortcuts that make progress easier. The constant tension the world transmits, combined with the detailed design of its creatures and environments, creates an eerie and engaging atmosphere that holds players from start to finish. The game is also known for its subtle narrative, told through items, dialogues, and settings, where every detail can reveal more about the mysterious world. The challenging difficulty, combined with the freedom of exploration and the depth of its story, places this game among the best ever made in the fantasy and RPG genre. A classic that continues to influence modern games. What did you think of this fantasy game list? Did any of them leave a mark on you or bring that challenge only the best games can offer? I'd love to hear your opinion. Leave a comment on which game you enjoyed the most, and if you think an incredible game deserved to be on this list. If you like this content and want to keep discovering more amazing games, subscribe to the Play Hunters channel and turn on notifications. That way, you'll always be up to date with gaming news and never miss out on any releases or tips to improve your gameplay. I'm leaving a card with a video YouTube chose just for you. Just click to watch. A big hug, and see you tomorrow.